work. I got the devil in my eye. I'm doing God's work. I got the devil in my eye.
For my money, it's the best time of the year, playoff football time, as postseason action descends upon FedEx Field just outside of D.C. But just ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, and we got a great one in store, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Washington Commanders. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Hurts. Oh, his first throw of this playoff matchup is intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Commanders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
First down, here's White. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From midfield now, Lawrence to the right side, complete to Taylor. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll find his man. That's Tanner again. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. And that's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Pass complete to Judy on the out route.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
Well, that's good for a first down. He's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in the playoffs. Slot man moves right. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
Well, Lawrence going to move him around a bit.
11. Here we go.
Back to Taylor on first down.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Second down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Here's Lawrence.
Rolling to his right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Ah, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game, as it's 1st and goal. Here's White. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try the left side with Taylor. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Taylor. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jonathan Taylor. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Hurts to throw. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a first down carry by Jones. A nice move at midfield. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And here's a quick throw out to Mims. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Hurts. Quickly into the hands of Mims. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. So the penalty rightfully declined. They'll keep the yardage on the completion.
Still some disagreement by the defense, though, because he thought that was just good, strong coverage, and the contact's going both ways, so why is there a flag? In the end, though, doesn't matter. Still a completed pass.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. The slot man in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he will score. Touchdown Falcons. Marvin Mims, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. It's Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
The offense on third down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime, 6 defensive backs.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3 and out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
2nd and short now following the fumble. Throw caught by Flowers.
His first reception in the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a first down as well.
2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. First and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Taylor. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 53 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. On play action, Lawrence.
He'll buy some time right. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Lawrence.
Flush to his right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37.
Santos' kick is up and through.
And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. A run with Jones on first down, not going to yield much. A yard tops. Second down coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Eluding the pressure right.
That's caught by Gabriel Davis.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando.
Both
for
these
Jonathan
teams, no
Coachman
doubt, making their
REA
final
Sports
adjustments
Halftime
as
Report.
we
Coach.
speak. Which of these two teams is going to advance to the NFC title game next Sunday? To find out, let's get you back to Brandon Gaud.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step.
There he goes, left side.
Down the left sideline. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
They run straight ahead here with White.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Now Lawrence to throw. pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Lawrence to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
Now, I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Well, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Bradley Chubb from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. But you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your third-grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Sets up to throw it. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Tressway now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. On the return, it's James. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. Now Lawrence now going to move him around. Second down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
113 yards rushing here for Taylor. He's got a 1st down.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you've got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Over the middle, complete to Judy.
That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Lawrence will throw. There's the former Falcon star, Julio Jones with a grab.
That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 33, here's 2nd and a couple. Now Lawrence.
Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
And we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Flowers on the jet sweep.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Commanders are able to widen their advantage.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they got to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. On the handoff, this is Taylor. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Touchdown! Travis Kelce, 29 yards. And the Commanders continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Bradley Chubb came in and got him. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Hurts. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll look to throw. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Greg Newsome.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
They had a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
They go play action with Hurts.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. On first down, Hurts. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Steps away to his left. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Aaron Jones, 31 yards. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2. Hurts will throw. It's complete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
On first down, Lawrence. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Now Lawrence. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. Mims in motion right. And this one complete again to Mims. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cooper. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
How about this? They'll change it at the line. They'll go with Jones. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Hurts going to shift him around a bit. Now this going to be a quarterback draw. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Hurts. That is caught inside the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Jones will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Commanders are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly. And what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Rocky Sin there to make the tackle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Here we go.
Second down, another run with Taylor. Now he's loose at the 40. Now look out. To the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Jonathan Taylor saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Commanders are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Hurts to throw. Right back to Cooper, and he got him again. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
No choice but to go. Here's fourth down now. They're going on fourth down with Hurts.
And oh my goodness, here's a fifth interception.
Picked up by Kevin Farley.
And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.